What's up, everybody? We're now on to issues 4, 5, and 6 of this amazing Thor run by Jason Aaron. In this run of issues, we have Thor getting tortured by Gorr in this cave, and he's not doing well. Like, he thinks he's fucked. But the Vikings come to save the day, help him out, and they fight off Gorr and his like crazy demon dog things. And he thinks he's won. He thought Gorr's dead, but obviously that's not the case. And we now go to Prime Thor, who goes back to the scene of the crime to see if he can figure out what happened. And what he finds there is actually super interesting. It's this god that's been tortured by Gorr, and this guy had his eyelids cut off so that Gorr could force him to watch him as he kills all of his family and friends. How messed up is that? Gorr is next level evil. Now, oh, it's raining outside. Oh, does that mean the God of Thunder is coming? Now, Old Thor, so there's three timelines. Remember, we got Prime Thor, Old Thor, and Young Thor. So, Old Thor is stuck in Asgard, and he keeps going out to fight. He's like stuck in Asgard with this like demon army, and he keeps going out to fight them, thinking that like he'll die this like warrior's death. But what they do is they fight him off, he loses, and they drag him back to the throne. So this guy's forced to live out his days knowing he's lost and being forced to accept his failure. Because as we learn, Gorr made a promise to Thor that he would be the last god he kills. How crazy is that? I have my notes over here. That's where I'm pulling up all the main things I liked and learned from these issues. So now, Gorr during the Prime storyline finds these gods in this like secret Earth that can time travel. And what he does is he kills all of them. He puts their blood in this fucking pool, and he uses it to time travel to like the dawn of creation, where he rips out a elder god. I think that's what they're called. What are they called? An elder god. He ends up ripping out an elder god's heart. We don't know what he wants to do with it yet. So now he comes back and he starts taunting Thor, and he's like, oh, I did it, you're fucked now, bro. So he taunts Thor, he goes back into the time portal, and Thor goes after him to, Prime Thor, goes after him, because at this point, Thor's found out where he is after, going to the cave and going to all these different places to figure out where he went. So he's after him now, and he goes through the time portal, and he finds himself in the same timeline as the old Thor. Now, what we find out is they actually they went through the portal around the same time, but they ended up at different times. So Gorr was 900 years before Thor got there. So now Thor and Gorr are about to team up and go after, Gorr. Yep. And we also find Gorr's storyline. So basically, I want to end off with this because this is probably going to be important for the movie. So in Gorr's storyline, he's a normal person who basically just grew up in poverty. His planet was fucked. It was like a desert planet. There was no food, no water, and he struggled his whole life. He lost his wife, kids, and the last thing he had was he lost his wife and daughters, and then the last thing he had was his son. Oh, and I forgot, his wife was pregnant when she died. So his daughters, his pregnant wife, the last thing he had on his home planet was his son, and his son died. And that's when he denounced God. He's like, I don't believe in gods. How can gods let this happen to me? These two gods come from the sky, they're fighting, and basically he's like, you're alive the whole fucking time, and you let this happen to me? And he takes one of the god's swords, because like they've wounded each other in this battle, and he kills that god, and then that's how he goes on his rampage. So tune in next week. That's all we have for this week. Tune in next week. We're gonna talk about the final 5 issues. I put them together because they're like a 5-part series. That's how it was worded in the comic books. And I think that's good to end off on the week that Thor Love and Thunder comes out. So see you then.